Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, we all worry about when we die, what happens. Even though we don't like to talk about it, it's not the conversation at the dinner table. Mostly it's not. But some people really, if they don't worry about it, they really get double bong, as I say, because here they have to suffer with the loss of a loved one, and then they don't even have the money to do the right kind of burial. So we were very fortunate when we found Julia Lewis SPANN, because that's what she does for Lincoln Heritage. So thank you for coming on our show, Julia.
Thank you, Anita.
This is an unusual company, I must say. When you first told me about it, I said, there must be something that I'm not understanding, because it seems like it's almost too good to be true. So tell everybody what it is.
Oh, yes. Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage Plan is a concierge service that is funded by whole life insurance. It's a way to achieve peace of mind and have the services that you need in the time that you need it the most.
And when is that? When someone dies, right?
Yes.
And usually unexpectedly. You know, there are many people I know whose kids, unfortunately, have passed away in an accident or something. Yes. Family members have, and they don't, now they want to mourn, but they don't even know where things are to do. They don't have the money. Yes. So tell us how it works. If somebody now wants to sign up, what will they get? What should they do?
They should, first of all, contact someone like me to meet with them, go over the information of what we provide, the services, and also what we do is discover what their needs are. We want to find out what type of funeral they would, intend on having, because we do any type of funeral that you desire, because it's all about you and your final wishes. So it can be cremation, it can be traditional burial, it can be a variety of different ways to honor that individual, your loved one, at that time. We find that out and explain what the benefits are. And there's no medical exam. Pre-existing conditions are okay. Most pre-existing conditions are okay. And you answer a few yes or no questions, and you're approved. We call it into the office, and most of the people that apply are approved. And that's it.
So just help me with this. This is a life insurance policy in a sense?
It is.
Or death insurance policy. I don't know quite a handle on this.
Well, yes, we call it the Funeral Advantage Plan, because unfortunately what happens when people are most vulnerable and these unexpected deaths occur is they are taken advantage of by funeral directors. Not all of them are honorable. The Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, our partners who are exclusive to Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company, go to bat for you. We advocate for you. We make sure that those funeral directors, those funeral homes, those crematories are in good standing with the regulations. We also make sure that we review the contracts, the agreements, and compare that to your final wishes, and make sure that we save you as much money as we possibly can, and that there are no hidden costs that are buried down in those contracts.
So the best thing for someone to do is to be prepared. It's kind of like, I don't want to date this particular show, but we are thinking about a hurricane. Yes. We always think about hurricanes when you live in South Florida. And the best thing to do is to be prepared, and then you don't really have to worry as much. So this really could be for any age. This isn't just for an older adult, is it?
Yes, it's not. Unfortunately, death knows no age. We've had infants that we've had to do funerals for, and we do start Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage Plan does start at age 30 days, and we go all the way up to age 85. And so, yes, we cover all ages. Our plans start as low as $15 a month. And for children, $2 if you want to add them on your policy, $2 for children.
So you're saying $15 a month, and that's the highest amount you have to pay?
That's the starting. It depends on how much
how much you want is what you're saying. It's like insurance. How much do you want to have? But $15 a month will get, what will that get you?
Depends on age and health. So the younger and the healthier someone is the less risk there is in terms of their health to passing away. But it can be as low as that. The average premium is $50 average. But, when you think about it, that day that comes and it's so unexpected, you don't want to have to come up with $3,000 all at once. You don't want to have to come up with $5,000 or $7,000, because if you really think about it, who can you call right now? If you had a flat tire, if you had a leak in the roof, if something happened with this hurricane, who can you call right now and say, can I have $500? Can I have $300? There are very few people who, even if they love you, care about you, who have that extra cash on hand to help you. So it's better you help yourself. And we make it easy because there's no medical. You could have various conditions, pre-existing conditions. And, we're a family-owned company. So we're all about families. And we make it easy enough for you to meet that important need.
Well, let me just tell you who you're listening to, because she's a lovely woman. She's as nice as her voice sounds. She has a very lovely voice, too, so you would not be mistaken when you see her. Julia Lewis SPANN is an authorized agent with Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. And if you would like information, and she is such a low-pressure person, I never have said that about many people. Some people are so high pressure, but you're so low pressure. I have to shake you. Go ahead. What do you want people to buy? I'm kidding, but that's okay. But let's just give you a phone number. Do you want me to give your cell phone out? What would be best?
Yes, please feel free to give the 754 number.
Okay. So it's 754-234-8252. Again, remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. This is called Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. And my guest is Julia Lewis SPANN, SPANN. And the phone number is 754-234-8252. So if you go and you meet with someone, you're going to find out a little bit about what they want and then how much money they feel comfortable with.
Yes.
So what would $50 a month get somebody?
Well, again, say if they're in their 40s or their 50s and they're relatively pretty good health. I mean, the average policy, I cannot actually say definitively that this is the amount that they're going to get for the $50, because say if they have a heart condition or if they have kidney problems or liver problems, then that might not get them as much coverage. But
it does get them coverage. So that's the thing,
right?
So that's the difference.
And, when other people have said no to them, we say yes to them. Because a lot of people come to us after they've been declined by other life insurance companies. And so that's the beauty of Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage plan, is that we accept people. We give them that hope that, hey, we can still cover you. You're like family. Once we are able to qualify them, even if they have pre-existing conditions, they're family. It's forever. It's as long as they're alive. It's a whole life policy. That's how it's funded by Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. And we go up to $20,000, sometimes $35,000 if we can get them qualified. But it's really not that difficult. Even if you smoke, we can still work something out. So there are a lot of conditions that we are able to work with, and you'd be pleasantly surprised. I've been pleasantly surprised when I hear yes on the other end of the phone. It only takes about 10, 15 minutes to sit down with someone, see what you need, see about your health, your age. It's a yes or no questions, no medical exam whatsoever. And at as low as $15, you can get a decent coverage. And along with that, Anita, we also build in accidental death and dismemberment protection up to $160,000. And pretty much everyone qualifies for that.
You mean if someone has an accident and passes away?
Yes.
So, yeah, we don't think that there's a difference, really. I always think in terms of just someone passes away. Mm-hmm. Well, all right, but let's ask, what does someone usually have to pay for a funeral? I know there are different kinds. Let's say a typical funeral, if they haven't even gotten a a casket, or they haven't really even gotten a plot. What are we looking at?
Yeah, we're looking at, okay, I'll read a list here. The average cost overall is anywhere from $3,000, whether you do cremation or the traditional burial, is anywhere from $3,000 to $9,000. And some of my clients who I've spoken to and have gone through a funeral recently, they paid anywhere from $9,000 to $12,000 or $15,000. So I generally try to get them as much coverage as their budget will allow them to at the time. And even if we start a little lower, then we can always increase it later, because it's so easy to get qualified for most people that apply, that once we get you in, you're locked in with that rate. And that's the beauty of this too, is that the premiums never increase. As long as they're paying their premiums, they never increase, and the benefit never decreases. So that is a really great thing. It's a level benefit, and the costs we cover include, they're more than this, but including the professional service charges, which can be $1,817.
What is that?
The services of the funeral director. They get a nice chunk of change from doing everything. And the embalming, all the staff of the funeral home. So that professional service charge, $1,800, about $1,800. Transfer of remains, where we pass away, we have to be transported to the funeral home. So that could be $250, and who knows, with inflation, 10, 15 years from now, that could increase to $500. Who knows? Embalming. If your religion believes in that, we will do that. Again, we do follow whatever your final wishes are. That could be $628. That could be the hairdressing and cosmetology, $200. Visitation and viewing, $395. The funeral service at the funeral home, $450. The hearse, $275. The service car or van, $125.
Excuse me.
Who knows?
Don't die.
Who knows?
Let's not die.
Exactly.
I think it's better, Julia. Let's not die,
let's
right?
Not.
Just send us right up into the clouds.
Exactly.
Don't die.
Exactly.
I just couldn't even believe what you're saying, because a friend of mine did lose her. Her husband just passed away, and she's not a very rich person. And I hope they have. I don't know if they have what you're offering, but I'd be surprised. So that can't hurt someone to pay that $50 even to get a lot, but I'm really amazed at that. You never think about it, do you? Yeah,
you don't. And just for like $1 a day, $2 a day, if you really break it down, $50 a month, maybe $2, $3 a day, if that's a cup of coffee. That's $50. That's a dinner out or something. I mean, for your loved one to have that support, that cash that they need right away.
Yeah, that was my next question. So how long does it take for someone to get this?
Yes.
But what do they do? Does the body just sit there till the money comes? How does this work?
Well, if you don't have Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage Plan, yes, that body can and has in other cases. I've heard of many other cases with other companies where the body has sat there, has laid there, or been in the hospital. They were afraid. I had a client tell me they were afraid to take someone off their loved one off a respirator. Yes, they kept them on life support until they could figure out how they were going to pay for that body to come out of the hospital.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So okay, now let's fast forward to Lincoln Heritage. How fast will Lincoln...
24 hours. 24.
No kidding.
Yes.
And they just send the money to the funeral home?
No, it goes directly to you, not to the funeral home. You get it.
And then you disperse as what you're supposed to have.
It's all about your final wishes. It's all about putting you in control. You are the boss, and we're the support. We are the concierge service that's going to wait on you hand and foot. So you get that money. Your loved one gets that money. Your daughter, your son, your granddaughter, whoever you want to entrust to handle your final affairs, that's the person who's going to get that money as a check or wire to their bank account.
And then you, as the representative, would they call you if some emergency occurs like that?
Yes, they can call me. They can also call the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, because what comes with the package that we give them is a card. And there's 5 cards, actually, that they get. They get 1 to keep in their wallet, and then they get 4 others to give to the beneficiaries and the people whom they trust to take care of their final arrangements. So that number has their free membership on there with their the contact number. That's 24/7. They call us any time of day or night, and we're there for you. All you do is say, my loved one has passed away. We say, sorry, our condolences. What do you need us to do? And we put your plan in action.
Send me the money, right? First.
We send you that money. Yes.
And then you're there to, do you kind of stay around and try to help them in a sense?
Yes. We're all, again, it's all about the person. It's all about you. It's all about honoring you and your final wishes. Whatever songs you want said, whatever poems you want read, or scriptures, verses, whatever rites you want performed. If you're with the military, we'll have the plaque, we'll do the flag, whatever you need done, we will honor you.
You arrange it.
We arrange it, so yes.
And you can see, when I think about it, a lot of older adults probably are not capable of even making those decisions.
Especially.
And so it's really nice for you to come in and to help them, even though they may have family members. And what happens, of course, someone is so lost in a sense, that someone they love so much is, and then they have to figure out all these things. That's tough, isn't it?
We do the running around for you. We will do the price shopping for you and compare different funeral homes for you, and give you the information so you don't have to run around and be under extra stress. We give you the money, we give you the help, we give you the support, so you don't have to cry twice.
Okay, that's very, cry twice. Huh, interesting. All right, so if someone doesn't want to spend all that money on a funeral, let's say, but they've been paying their $50,
yes, but
they decide they just want the body put into the ocean or, cremated.
Yes.
And it's much less. It doesn't matter. They get that $15,000 or $10,000, whatever it was.
Yes.
It's their money,
yes,
but it's given to them only at the time if someone dies.
Yes. Yes. When you file the claim with us, which you just call, and then we file the claim over the phone or whichever way possible, get that money to you in 24, sometimes 48 hours. It depends on if there's a police report or something related to the death. So we get that money to you, and yes, you do with that money what you need to do. You could have changed your mind. Maybe they changed their mind on their deathbed, say they did, I don't want you to give me a whole expensive funeral, just do a traditional burial, just give me, float me out to the ocean and burn me out there, or do a cremation or whatever less expensive. My mother-in-law did that. She passed away of cancer. She had enough time to change, to say, I just want you to keep it simple, take the other rest of the 10,000 or whatever thousands that my husband and his brothers got, take the rest of it, spend it, $1,500 or $3,000 on the cremation, have the other $7,000 to do whatever you need to do.
Celebrate my life.
Celebrate
right?
my life, pay for college, do whatever you want to do.
Wow. This is are there a lot of companies doing this, Julia?
We are very unique. Lincoln Heritage is the #1 final expense company in the nation. We have over 850,000 members in our group, in our organization as policy owners. We have over $6.2 billion of life insurance policies in force and a surplus of over $1 billion right now. So we're a very, very strong company, family owned, licensed in 49 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. We are top rated by AM Best, which is an industry rating report. So we're a very strong company, and I'm very proud to be working with Lincoln Heritage because they're the best. We're the best, and we provide the best service, the best benefits, most comprehensive. It's a one-stop shop, and it's so easy. No medical exam. Plans start at $15 a month. Can't beat that.
So if I may be so bold to say, they're lucky to have you. You may be lucky to have them, but I think that they should be very proud that someone of your caliber thinks so much of this and that you want to help people and that this is your profession. So you're certainly into something that I think a lot of people now will start to have. For years, it was hard to talk about this with your kids. They said, don't talk about dying. I don't want, but now we know it's going to happen. I had a doctor say, look, from the day you're born, you're going to die. face it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's just make sure you have enough money so that you don't hurt a lot of people. I know that there are some people where I know of one particular person's son died. He fell off of a roof, and he was up in North Carolina, and she had to get him down here to bury him, and she didn't really have that kind of money.
Yes.
And so she did. I don't really know what she had. I mean, I guess people just ran around and tried to help her, but so she had the least expensive burial she could. But you're right, at $50, and $50 sounds like that's the top of the. I mean, if you pay $50 a month, you're going to get probably more than you may even need for a simple funeral. I don't know that, but
it all depends. But we
an
definitely
age, right?
work
It
with
depends on the
age and health. But we always work within your budget, because think about it. Would you rather pay $50 a month, or have your loved ones have to come up with $5,000 to take care of things all at once? $50 a month is worth having that peace of mind and making sure that you're not leaving that burden on your loved ones. Is that the legacy you want to leave behind? Is it the financial burden of your final arrangements?
Yeah, well, I have to tell you that years ago, my mother and her two sisters, I guess the older adults in the family, that's the first thing, they bought life insurance and they bought funeral plots, right?
Right.
And they did take the money and save it, and they didn't pay it to someone. I think they just put it in a penny jar. And they saved the money till they had enough money. But I remember that my mother asked me to go and help her pick out the casket. This was, my mother died in 1993. I was horrified to do that. And so, but I went because she wanted me to go. And I saw the prices then for, she wanted a beautiful casket. And I hardly could walk into that room. But that's what my mother got. And then she had to buy this big plot to put it in, the casket in. And I have to say this. I have never been, since the funeral, I've never been back to the cemetery.
Wow.
Because she's in my heart. I don't need to go to see her. I don't see her anyway. She's in the ground, and heaven only knows what happens to people in the ground. And I just have a lot of memories from her. And that's what I cherish.
Yes.
But I did what my mother wanted to. When I think about that money, could have really gone to something that was, that she would have loved. I would have loved to have given that money. She used to play the piano, and give it to some sort of an orchestra or somebody where it would have been better.
Yes. Yes, you're
I was
right.
long-winded on that, but I had to share that with you.
Speaking of legacy and memories, that's important. That's important. Legacies and memories. People often use their life insurance policies to leave money behind for their organizations, their civic organizations, or the Boys and Girls Clubs, or, some mentorship program or church program or ministry. So I do have clients who have written in their final wishes, which we give them a worksheet to do, put this amount, $2,000 out of my policy. I want to go to this ministry in my church. So if you today can't pay or donate $2,000 to a cause, then why not put $50 aside? And then when you're gone, you're not totally gone, because that money
absolutely
is there
I agree
in your
with
memory.
You. Totally. I agree with you. And just to follow up on my mother, I do have to share this, that my mother had a very nice piano when we lived on the second floor. And I had the piano when after my mother passed away. And now I had to get the piano down from the second floor to give it away. But Faith Farm is a company, organization I love. They came, they took it down, and they put it in their chapel, and they have a plaque on it. So my mother's piano is there.
Beautiful.
And that was the... So see, just what you said. It's a legacy, right?
Yes. And that's what I love about what I do, too, because I love seniors. I love them with all my heart, because you learn so much from their lives in a different time before you were around. And, to see articles from the time that they were around, I mean, it's beautiful, like your mother's piano. And even in the plans that I help people write up with Lincoln Heritage, they can say what they want to leave behind. If they want a presentation of some articles that for certain people or organizations that they really care about. This is a heart business. This is a love business. This is not a dying business. This is about legacy. This is about love.
Yeah, you use that word legacy a lot. That's part of your your email address, and I didn't understand it before, but now I do. This is a legacy.
Yes.
So I'm very happy to have you share all this with our listeners, and many of them, even though they are, most of them are over 50. We do get some younger listeners, but they're always reporting it to their family members and what they should be doing. That this is really important. So if you don't want to have to write that check later, you could write the check now for $50 or $100, depending on the kind of funeral. You may want to have a big, huge funeral, or you may want to have a simple funeral. Just you don't have to worry about it. And so I think and of course, I can imagine how this would be for someone to talk to their parent about having this funeral. They probably don't like that subject.
Yeah, they don't.
It should really come from the parent, shouldn't it?
Yes, and this is the time to do it before the day comes, because there is so much confusion. If you've ever been through a funeral, which a lot of us, I think our listeners have been, you'll see that people who are not well prepared, there's chaos, there's confusion. It's bad enough that you lost this loved one, but to not know what to do next, to not have the money there, to not know where to find things, to not know what their wishes were, that actually can break families apart as a death. So why not do the opposite? Why not have families come together in harmony because you were prepared? That's the beauty of this, is you can be prepared, and we at Lincoln Heritage make it so easy. The Funeral Advantage Plan through the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, they will protect your rights. They will guard your rights. They will make sure you're getting the fairest deal and make sure that whatever your final wishes were, that there's communication about that.
So Julia, Julia Spann, please call her at her cell, 754-234-8252, 754-234-8252. Thank you so much, Julia.
Thank you, Anita.